Hey guys, Gathering Magic back again. It's Sunday, so you know what that means. It's time for another edition of the Market Watch. Today is December 8th, 2024, and I realized I made a mistake last weekend. Last weekend I was supposed to do the card market watch, but I did a second week in a row of the land market watch. So this episode of the market watch will cover since November 17th, so 3 weeks instead of two. So I'll try to get back on track and alternate every other week. So one week will be the cards and all the tokens, and then the next week will be land. So let's get started with the tokens. So for today, December 8th, SPS is still just over a penny. From 3 weeks ago, you can see we're almost exactly the same, just over 1 cent. Vouchers are currently trading just under a penny. They bounced around between about 9/10 of a cent and 1.1 cents. Currently, we're just under a penny. And then DEC is holding pretty steady at above 80 cents per thousand. Right now, we're at 81.2 cents for 1,000 DEC. Vouchers have been basically not used at all over the last couple weeks, as you can see. We mint 40,000 a day, and just going over the last 3 weeks of data, we've gained 802, almost 803,000 vouchers, which comes out to over 38,000 a day. So less than 1,800 vouchers on average have been burned every day out of the 40,000. So, you know, the only use pretty much is for the Mana Warden card. Everyone's got the amount of cards that they want, and now I think everyone is just saving up their vouchers in anticipation of the new card, which will be on Tuesday. Don't have any details yet, but that's probably part of the reason that people are not burning any vouchers. So this number should significantly drop, I think, in 2 weeks when we do the next episode of the Market Watch. Especially if this card is like an epic or legendary and it costs, hundreds of vouchers for a single BCX. So we'll start burning through vouchers at a pretty good clip. So we'll see how it goes 2 weeks from now. As far as SPS burning is gone, I'm kind of surprised by this. Over the last 3 weeks, we've only burnt just over 255,000 SPS. So you can see the total burnt here. The average for the last 3 weeks is just over 12,000 SPS. You can see from early to mid-November, we're burning 40,000 a day, and then that huge bump to over 150,000 a day, and it's just dropped off a cliff in the last 3 weeks. So SPS is not being burnt, but we'll see if that changes. You know, if we can get DEC a little bit closer to peg, this should turn around, and you can see the total SPS supply there as of now. Okay, moving on to older packs and sets. So alpha cards, so alpha packs are still selling on the market for $42, down from, as you can see, $48, $49 over the last month or so. No packs have been opened, no change. So no one is interested in alpha at this point. There's so much other things going on in the ecosystem. You know, land is kind of on a back burner. That doesn't have a whole lot going on currently. People are focused on playing modern. Maybe a few people are actually getting ready for the new modern, thinking about survival mode, picking up some single copies of, cards from Chaos Legion, Summoners, that type of thing. So there's not really too much of an appetite for some of the older expensive packs and buying those. So Alpha's down to $42. I still think long term this is a fantastic deal from where it's been historically, but that price is not going to change anytime soon. Beta packs, these continue to be given out in the chest rewards as a jackpot prize, but even with that, they're still pretty hard to get, and they're still holding at above $9. There was 29 more that came on chain, so these are probably ones that appeared from jackpot prizes. So we are just over 20,000 unopened beta packs left. Looking at Untamed. So Untamed's been hanging right around 750, as you can see, for the last month and a half or so. Just a few packs get opened week to week, and we're still over 44,000 unopened packs remaining. Dice had a big bump this week from right around $6 up to just under $8. Not a lot of packs are selling those. You can see only a handful of packs over 2 weeks. We still have just over 5,000 dice packs left. Orb still consistently right around 850. 6,800 packs of that remaining unopened. And now Chaos Legion, as you can see, over the last month and a half or so, Chaos Legion packs have been slowly ticking up. Currently, they're sitting at just above 50 cents on the market. And I've noticed from what people are posting on the secondary market And in game, it doesn't take but a few hundred packs selling at this 50 cents before the packs are going to jump to 60 and then maybe even the low 70s. So the only reason this would stay low to mid 50s are going to be there's like 3 or 4 bot sellers. So if they continue to just slightly undercut each other, that's the only reason these packs are really under 75 cents. So keep an eye on that. If you're interested in cheap Chaos Legion packs, definitely check the market and check Hive Engine to try to find the best deal. Number of packs available, you can see we're just under 2 million packs, and it looks like pretty consistent. These two are for 2-week totals. This is for 3 weeks. Looks like we're opening about 1,000 packs a day. Rift Watchers still under $2 at $1.90. 343 packs have been opened over the last 3 weeks, so a little bit of movement there, but being an older set and being in wild, not a whole lot of desire for Rift Watcher packs. There are a lot of these that are currently held in the Dow, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with those. I still think any packs that you can get for under a couple bucks is a great deal. Rebellion, we're coming towards the end of the Rebellion sale. That should be in about, I believe, 10, maybe 11 days left. Currently, packs are selling for $374 in game. We've sold just under 980,000 over the last 3 weeks. We're selling about on average of just over 500 a day. So if this continues till the end of the sale, we're just going to miss a million, but I think it is going to bump up from them. I think when we get down to the last 1 or 2 days, there's going to be a couple of decent sized purchases of packs. So currently, to be in the top 200 holders of Rebellion packs, you only need 5 packs. And according to Splinter Cards, it says there are, I believe it was 56 or 53. Let me take a quick look. It's saying there are 56,000 circulating packs available. I don't know how accurate that is because when I ran the numbers for the top 200 holders, that only came up to 17,000 packs. So unless we have 39,000 packs in accounts that are holding 4 packs or less, that's a lot of accounts holding 1, 2, or 3 packs. But even still, let's say there's 53,000 packs that are floating around. That's not very much. If we keep opening 530 a day, that's 100 days. So if we stay on this pace in 3 months, let's say 4 months, all the packs are going to be opened. Let's let that sink in for a minute. There's not a lot of Rebellion packs that are out there, even if you want to say 50,000. If there's really only about 20,000 unopened, yeah, these things are going to become very scarce very quickly. And it's December right now. So when the new modern rolls around in April, don't be surprised if there's maybe less than 10,000 unopened packs available, even on the secondary market. Just saying. So I only have, a couple packs. I definitely want to get, as many packs as I can between now and the end of the sale. Okay, alpha set. So I'm going to try to go through this a little bit quicker than I have in the past because when I go through the cards in part 2, we're actually going to look at the cards and look at these numbers. So I want to skim through this somewhat fast so we can spend more time in part 2 and actually look at the cards, look at the amount of available, look at the liquidity on the market. So these are just numbers just for people that are interested in just the raw data, just to see if there's any upticks or any price spikes, over the last few weeks. So Alpha Commons looks like it's pretty much in the same range. All the regular cards seem to be pretty much in the same price range, except for I did notice for legendary alpha cards, there's 9 in the set. There was only 7 available for sale. So 2 of the cards didn't even have a single copy on the market. And the most expensive card was $75, where you can see in the past you've been around $140 for the top. So legendary alpha cards might be something if you're looking for more of the high-end cards to buy, might be something you want to look at. Gold foils, so the floor for the gold foils has gone back up to $15. So you can see we were kind of trending lower over the last month and a half, down to just under 12. But this liquidity for the gold foil commons is very, very low. Even for commons, there's usually either single copies or 2, 3, 4. There's not very many of these on the marketplace. So I think if you went in and just bought the cheapest gold foil common, like one of each, you would quickly get the floor up to about 50, 60 bucks for a common. The gold foil rares, 100 to 966 for the single copy. Epics 300 to 1500, and then gold foil legendaries 3300 to 155,000. So once again, just a couple of copies of single cards. Looking at the promos for Alpha, the common came down to $8. The rare still sitting at 14. The Epic card, look at this price spike. So there's only a single copy of the Epic, and they're asking $500. And there actually is a copy of the Legendary. I believe it's Shin Lo, the Dragon card. There's a single copy of that available for $550. Gold foil, gold foil common promo. There's one on the market, and they're asking $5 grand. So as you can see, that's a big price spike from where it's been. But when you have the only card, you set the price. Gold foil rare, 117. Epic is 975, and then no legendary. Okay, moving on to beta. If you look at the normal cards, pretty much the same range going across the board. We'll get into the Epic and the single card here. That is the anomaly for that price. Gold foils, you can see pretty much just under $2 for the floor for the commons, $8 for the rares, around 30 for an Epic, and then just over $250 for a gold legendary. Looking at your promo cards, so your common promo from beta, and this is the Dragon Summoner, and this is a single BCX, is up to $2. So in the past it's been $1, you can see $1.20, $1.10. This $4.95 was the only one available, the cheapest one, and that was for a 5 BCX. So basically still $1 a card, but now it's doubled to $2. So people are picking up some of the older summoners, I think, getting in anticipation of survival mode. Rare still around 50 cents. The Epic is $2.50. Red Dragon is up to 20, so you can see it's kind of doubled from where it was over the past month. And then Prince Julian and Archmage Arius, these are the cheapest that I've seen. So especially the Prince Julian. As you can see, this has been consistently, 13, 17, $2 grand. Now there's one for $640. So this is an ultra rare card, and if there is someone out there, a whale, that's been looking at maybe purchasing this card, this is a great price. This is basically half as where it was just a couple weeks ago. Archmage Arius is sitting at just over 500. And then for your gold foil promos, the common, the Dragon Summoner, is almost doubled from 9 to just over 15. The rare's doubled from 25 to 50. There's no gold foil Epic, and of course there's no gold foil legendaries. Okay, moving to Untamed. So for the base cards, same range, no real anomalies here. You can see the low end 2 cents to 40, rares 4 cents to 63, 22 to $1.48 for the Epics, and then just over $1.40ish to $53.50 for your legendary cards. Gold foils. The one thing I do want to point this out, and I'll go over it in part 2, the $10 gold foil common is for it's for 5 BCX of Serpentine Spy. So this would be, I think it's a level 5. So to get a level 5 Serpentine gold foil Spy for $10 is a pretty good deal. So this is a card you definitely want to check out if you don't have it already. The gold foil rares, 220 to 750-ish. Epics, $10 to 150, and then your gold legendaries, 62.50 is the floor up to 5,500. Now, surprisingly, at least to me, the top card in the set is not Kitty. It's not Jotun. Llama has taken over the top spot. This is for single BCX, and there are a few single copies that are in that $53, $54, $55 range. So Llama has doubled from where it's been, over the last month and a half, 2 months. So he has taken over the top spot. Kitty's still sitting at 46. Jotun is just under $41, and then Kron continues to drift, and it's down to $750. Gold foil Kitty, though, there is a single copy on the market. You can see a month and a half ago, it was about $700. There wasn't one 3 weeks ago on the 17th. Now there's a single copy, and they're asking $5 grand for a gold foil Kitty. Llama gold foil, as you can see, is doubled from 400 to just under 800. Gold foil Jotun came down a little bit to 390, and then gold foil Kron is just over $100. Then your promo cards, Halfling Alchemist, $1.35, Chain Golem up to $9.75, and there actually is a Mighty Dricken again, $1,500. Gold Foil Alchemist, look at this, jumped from 80 bucks, 88 up to 240. The Chain Golem is sitting at 58 and no Gold Foil Dricken. Okay, dice. So the thing I like to look at for dice is the rare slot, looking for the summoner cards, especially now with survival mode being talked about. You know, people are trying to look for some cheap summoners, and dice is a great place to pick up a lot of cheap summoners. 498 is probably the card that you can guess. Yes, it is Mylor, and this is a single BCX. This is not multiple copies, so you know, he's been right around $1 for quite a while, kind of got used to it, and now quickly with survival mode, people are like, hey, even one copy of Mylor can be very useful with that Thorns. I'm going to pick up you know, a bunch of $1 copies, and now they're up to 5, so those are pretty much gone. Epics, still the same range, 38 to 43. And then your legendary cards, just under $4 up to 29. This is for Epona, and as you can see, Epona is usually the top card in the set. So it's come down from 65 to 60 to 50 to 29 this week. So good deal on Epona if that's a card that you don't have and have been looking at. May go down lower. I don't know if you want to wait 2 weeks. We'll see where it's at then, or it may rebound a little bit. But as of now, this is trending down. Then your gold foil commons, 50 cents to $2. Rares, 275 to 32.50. Epics, just under 11 to 26, and then legendaries about 60 to 218. Okay, moving on to Orb. Not a whole lot of movement in Orb. The only thing I did notice that was different over the last couple weeks is there's only 2 epics in Orb, the Dwarven Wizard and the Mermaid Healer. Someone did a buyout of the Mermaid Healer because now there's only single copies available and they want 16 bucks a piece. So if you're looking for the Mermaid Healer, I would definitely wait. As you can see, historically the card's been right around $1. And then your legendary cards, 575 to just under 10 bucks. The gold cards, there are 2 gold cards listed. Here's the funny thing. The Mermaid Healer, $16 for a single BCX regular foil. They're asking $33 for a gold foil. And then the $89 one is for the Dwarven Wizard, where the regular foil is 93 cents. So the gold foil prices, I think, are way out of whack. Your legendaries are the same as they've been for the last month and a half or so. The Warlord for 700, and then a gold foil Pegasus for 1400. Okay, moving on to Chaos Legion. So this is the Chaos Legion core set, not the Soulbound. Regular cards, pretty much the same price. Even the legendaries are holding just under 50 cents for the low end, to $3.50 to $4 for your summoners. Your gold foils, 15 cents to $1.09 for the commons, 64 to almost 9 for a rare. This is another anomaly that I've noticed over the last couple weeks. This card is a gold foil Kelia. Now, as you can see, over the past month and a half, this top card has consistently been a gold foil Kelia. So you're going from about $2.30, $1.50. Now it's shot up to $8.50. And once again, I think this is because of survival mode. Now, even though this card has spiked to $8.48, the regular foil Kelias are still 19 cents. So if they're, and I'm very, very surprised at that. I cannot believe those cards are not all gone. I am very amazed that all the Chaos Legion rare summoners under 20 cents aren't gone. So I don't know if people are forgotten about it, or there's just a few people that have already gotten what they feel like is all the summoners they need. But even with the amount of Chaos Legion that was printed, I'm very surprised that those summoners aren't all gone by now. Okay, so your epics, $2.80 to $10 for the gold foil. Legendaries, starting to push back up. So we're getting closer and closer to $20 floor for a gold foil legendary. And then the most expensive is $55. Okay, so for your soulbound cards, the floor is starting to move up on the legendaries, and even the epics to a small degree. You can see about a month and a half, 2 months ago, we were at 90 cents for the floor. Then we hit $1, $1.04, $1.08. So the floor is slowly going up for the epics. But look at the legendaries. You know, 5, 4.90, just under 5. Now it's 5.70. And then the high end, you know, $6, $7, $6.50, $8.80. So the legendary soulbound cards, you know, because they're more expensive to unlock compared to everything else, you know, and the asking price is going up. So don't be too surprised Maybe in the next month or maybe early next year, you're going to start to see $10 for a soulbound legendary. And then for your gold foils, the one thing I noticed as well is the summoners, I think, are a little bit underpriced for the gold foil. So you can see where we have been, $12, $9.30. This was an anomaly when there was only a single copy for 38, but down to 8.25. So I don't think they're going to print summoners again that have the ability to summon gladiator cards. So of course these will only be used in wild going forward after the new modern. But if wild becomes a thing and we get new players, they're going to want those summoners that are going to be able to summon gladiator cards. So keep an eye on that long term. Gold foil epics, the high end has stayed around 40, but the floor has been creeping up. $26, now we're up to 32. So it was a big jump in the floor for the gold foil epics from Chaos. And then your legendaries as well. The floor 108, 119, 125. The floor on those is starting to go up as well. Okay, so now the promo cards. So the Bear and Bruise, really no movement. Oh, sure, still sitting at $10. This is one of the movements of the entire couple weeks. Look at Dr. Blight, and this is single BCX copies, $58. Now, Dr. Blight, as you can see, had been trending down previously 13, 15, under 12, 9, 7, and then someone just said, okay, enough's enough. That's way too cheap for Dr. Blight. Wiped it out. Now the floor is set at 58. So I'm sure it's going to come down from here. It'll probably settle back down $20, maybe even under 20, but I'm just kind of amazed that as long as this card has been out and available, that all of a sudden they're bought out and they're priced that much higher. Zerial still holding above 20, sitting there at 23. Waka had a huge price increase too, like $105, 3 weeks ago, and now $240. So Waka may have hit a floor, and maybe people are starting to find a good use for him. I'm starting to see him more and more in ranked battles. And then Lux continues to drift lower. $233 to $195, $175, and now $170. Okay, the gold foils. So the gold foils of the common promo cards have been trending up. You can see they're both over $2. Osure came down from 60 to 38. Dr. Blight went up to 74. Gold foil Zeria still holding above 110. Waka sitting at 888, and then a gold foil Lux for $4,000. All right, on to Rift Watchers. Trying to think if there was anything with Rift Watchers. Really hasn't been a whole lot of movement in Rift Watchers. You can see the prices are pretty much where they have been. The highest price card is consistently inevitable. The only thing I noticed this week is for your gold foil legendaries. There is no gold foil inevitable on the marketplace, and your high-end gold card is now $310. So not a whole lot to talk about with Rift Watchers. Then moving on to Rebellion. So Rebellion, as I mentioned earlier, sales coming to a close just in the next week and a half or so. Everything is just holding strong. I mean, even commons, 6 cents for a common. And a lot of times I'll check the marketplace and the low end common is 8, 9 cents. So there's a few people that will list them here, and as quickly as they get listed, it seems like they get snatched up. So across the board, Rebellion has been holding pretty consistent. As you can see, the price is here. Looking at the gold foils have been ticking up from where they were a couple months ago. You were sitting under 50 cents for the low end gold foil commons. Now you're starting to push closer to $1. Some of the gold foil summoners and 2 mana cost cards are selling at $4 plus. Your gold foil rares just over $1 to $13.40. Gold foil epics 8.30 to $15.30. And then your gold legendaries anywhere from $37 up to $4.49. So very strong prices across the board. And as we'll check out in part 2, still very low liquidity on those cards. Okay, so now for your soulbound cards. So your commons selling 8 to 11 cents. Rares anywhere from 32 to 45. Epics, very tight range, 190 to 228. And legendaries, $10.50 to $11. And I wanted to point out also, when I went through and I got this data, that there's only single copies of all the legendaries, and they're all by the same seller, and there's only one. So there are almost no legendary soulbound cards on the marketplace. So if you are someone that's looking to sell, you have very little competition because there's only one seller putting these legendary cards up for sale. Gold foil commons, so low end $1.93 to $4.69. Your rares $8.75 to $35, and then your epics, there's just a handful because these are so expensive to unlock, $35 to $66. Okay, so now looking at some key legendaries from Rebellion, what prices have done over the last 3 weeks. So Kai is still sitting just above 5. Kane's come down to about $11.50. Rage is still right around 16, same with Darg. Venka has trended up from just under 25 to almost 29. Lorcus, I've seen him in the low 40s. So as of today, when I grabbed the data, he was sitting at 37, but he has been in the low 40s. Cryptic's still sitting at 23. Tofu's above 60 again. You can see the trend has been going up. EMP is still right around 20. Nidhogger is 23. And I want to shout out to Bronze Dragon on his stream today. He was doing challenges, had a giveaway, and I was a lucky winner and got a Nidhogger. So thank you very much to Bronze Dragon and for Trash Panda. I think Trash Panda was someone that donated some prizes for that. So thank you very much. Riscal is sitting at $15.50. And now the gold foils. So Kai's sitting at just above 50. Kane just under 100, Rage 180, Darg, you can see pretty consistent right around 80, Venka at 190, Lorcus about 210, Cryptic 149, Tofu, the big card, at 449, EMP at 94, Nidhogger Gold Foil 130, and Riscal at 170. And now finally for all your promo cards, so Grim Barden Smith, regular foil, as you can see, has been trending up over the last month or so. You know, I was wondering right back here when we were getting around 250 if he'd drift down to 2. Nope, he's back up above 3. But the gold foil has actually been trending a little bit lower week over week, down to just under 20. Mantaroth is back up to just under $34. You can see very strong, holding above 30. And the gold foil is at 280, so that's the lowest it's been in quite a while, almost half of where it was 2 months ago. The Enforcer holding at 80 cents. The gold foil has come down to 446. Baron Fiat sitting at 320. Gold foil at 37.75. Mana Warden, which is going away on Tuesday. Look at this. He's up to 20 cents. And the gold foil is up to 255. Sanctus sitting at 272. Gold foil at 18.50. Eleanor, almost $50. You can see it's been holding pretty steady, you know, low 40s. Now it's pushing 50, and the gold foil is $5.50. The Night Stalker, $2.75. Gold foil, very strong at $23.30. Look at the gold foil price, how it's gone up over the last month and a half. Delia is up to $48.80, so a huge price spike there, and $2.99 for the gold foil. Ruin Arcanist went from $1.94 to $2.49. The gold foil is just under 20. Let me add that. Okay, and then Rick Loneman, $44.50, so he's come up a little bit. And there are no, as of when I collected the data, there was no gold foil Ricks on the marketplace, so he is not available for sale in gold foil. And the new cards, Mary put Mossmender, $1.86, gold foil, a very strong 23. And finally, Nefket, $36.99, gold foil just under $2.75. So that is part 1 of the Market Watch. Part 2, we will do a deep dive. We will look at the market. I'll go card by, well, not every card, but you know, set by set, look at the different rarities and look at the liquidity. So stay tuned for that later today. So I hope you guys are doing well. Stay tuned for part 2 shortly. And as always, stay the course, keep on forging, and have fun. And if you don't have Rebellion yet, you may want to get it soon. Take care.